do a really basic foam roller. It's not really a workout. It's more like of a stretch release, connecting into your body, taking the time to find your balance, and just give yourself a little bit of centering and massage. So I like to start with the roller on the ground, and I have it this long way. I sit at the edge of it and I lie back nice and slow. And I just begin by rocking my body side to side with my hands on the mat. And I'm not going so far that I feel like I could fall off. It's just a gentle rocking side to side. And I feel each shoulder blade, I feel my lats as I do this. And then if you want to take a moment to challenge yourself, you can bring your arms up to the sky, and as you roll to the left, drop the right shoulder down, come back into the center. As you roll to the right arm reaches up, the left shoulder drops down. And you just reach the same direction you're going, drop the shoulder. Reach the same direction, drop the shoulder. And what happens when you are on a foam roller, the foam roller is an unstable surface. So muscles that might be overworking in your back will start to relax, and ones that might have been dormant will kick in to keep you from falling off that roll. And just a few more of these side to sides, your hips will move, your shoulders will move. It's just a very gentle movement. And then we'll settle into the center, taking our arms over our head and opening and circling around. And you want to go into as big of a range as you can. And while you're circling those arms over your head and opening and around, I want you to be aware of the support through your lower abdominal muscles, just pressing into the roller. Your rib cage is heavy. There is a little bit of space in your lumbar spine. And if you find that your shoulders are tight and you can't continue to make circles in that range because it sticks at a certain point in time, just take it very small, like this, feeling your scapula bone just heavy into that roller. But if you can, go as big into your circles as possible. I would do no less than 10. More just helps get fluid in that shoulder joint, helps you release, and just stay stable. And then let's go ahead and reverse those circles. And we'll start at the top, just inhale. Now I like to exhale right there and just feel my shoulders settle into this. So take your time with this. Take a full deep breath in and a full deep breath out. It doesn't have to be fast. Faster doesn't release the shoulders. And again, you can keep your range small if you need to. And this is another one where do no less than 10. And just feel those shoulders getting heavier into the back of the roller, and your head is heavy. The ribs are going to start to sink a little bit more. And then from here, I like to go into a pec stretch. So I open my arms. Now, if you can, most people have tightness across the chest and they can't get the back of their hands into the floor or their elbows. It's really uncomfortable. So do the best that you can, and then just slide the elbows down the mat towards your back, taking a deep breath. And then as you reach your hands back, see if you can get your fingertips, the back of your hands on the floor. Inhale as you reach back, then exhale, draw everything back down. And same thing applies here, where you don't want your ribs popping up. You want a heaviness in the rib cage. And we just continue to reach back and exhale. And just a few more of these, reaching back and exhaling. So if you're tight, you don't have to take your hands in this range. If you're tight, you can keep it off the ground and just do these small little movements here where you can see my elbow is not on the floor. And I'm just getting that really nice pec stretch. And I do just a few more of these. And just one more time. And then I'm going to open my arms to the sides. Now this is a very big neck stretch. I'm gonna let my head drop over and I'm gonna look up. So I'll feel this opening on the opposite side and my neck just gets a nice little open stretch. And then I bring my head back to the center. I let it fall off and I look back. And then I come back to the center, placing my hands down into the mat. Now this one is just a very beginner balance. I want you to feel your foot planting itself into the mat. Pull your abdominal muscles in, again, towards the back of the roller. Slowly bring one knee up to the tabletop. Taking a deep breath there, and then exhale and slowly lower it back down. As you lower back down, this leg is anchoring you into the floor. Establish your connection through your big toe, your heel, your instep, as you bring the other leg back up and lower it down. Now as you lift and lower the legs, we're alternating. I want you to pull your abdominal muscles in, away from your thigh bone. You're connecting up and in versus pushing out, which will affect that low back. And we're going to do a few more just gentle marching in place. And lowering slowly, establishing that leg connection to bring the knee up. Place your foot back down and bring the knee up. And place your foot back down. And I like to do several of these just to get a sense of balance, because then I take it up a little bit in terms of difficulty. Now, the next level is that one leg comes up and the opposite arm is here, feeling that connection. Just stay there, take a deep breath in, and then lower back down. And we can do that at the same time. The arm and the leg come up. And you might find that you're wobbly as you do this, which is completely normal. And then we lower back down. And again, this is one where you'll want to do several of them just to get a sense of balance. How does it feel to establish your opposite side pushing into the ground, the shoulder anchoring you down? You're just making those reference points up and down. And then after you've done just a few more of those, we'll continue to keep it at the basic level. And then we'll place our hands on the floor. The hands on the floor will support you. You'll bring one knee up. And before you bring the other knee up, I want you to press through your arms. Your triceps will engage, the chest is open, and the abs are engaged. Push down, come to your tabletop. And then you will feel your body trying to figure out where center of balance is, and it is completely normal for you to feel wobbly here. Now, stay stable, take a deep breath in, and I'm going to lower this leg without changing the shape of that tabletop. And then I'm going to pull it back up. Now you notice that I didn't lower to the floor. Lowering to the floor, I lose this connection. So what I'm trying to do is lower and pull my stomach in away from my thigh, then feel my body heavy into that roll to bring the leg back up. And the other side lowers. Again, my abdominal muscles are engaged and I lift back up. Now if your abs are strong, you're welcome to tap the ground and pull in to come back up. And if your abs feel like they're not in that same strength position, then just keep it very, very small. Inhale, lower. Exhale, reach. Inhale, lower. Exhale, reach that thigh back into your rib cage. Just a couple more. You may feel like you're gripping your thighs, and that's okay, but I would rather that you pull your abdominal muscles in deeply so that the movement is coming from your deep abdominal muscles, not from quad and not so much from hip flexor, even though they will kick in. And then we lower our feet back down, and then we just let our back relax again, because that can be a lot on your spine to do those. And then just take some deep breaths. And then let your body again find its center. Place your hands, interlace them. You'll bring them behind your head with wide elbows. Inhale deeply. And on your exhale, let the air out. Curl your upper body up. Now you're not going to get up very high on that first one. You'll slowly drop back down. imprinting back into the roller. And then again, exhale, slowly curl up. See if you can get up a little higher on those shoulder blades. Lower back down. And just 2 more of those. Lift your upper body up. Lower back down. And lift your body up. Now if you want to just check yourself and see how high you can get, reach your arms a little longer. Pull your fingertips towards your heels. Stay there and hold. And then very slowly lower back down. Put your hands on the mat, and then we'll gently shift off the roller and sit up. Okay, so that's just a nice opening for your upper body. And now what we'll do is we'll take that roller and we're going to put it behind our shoulder blades, and we are going to support our upper back here. Now I'm going to have a hair moment. And what I'm doing is I have this right about at my bra line, or just mid-thoracic. My hips are lifted. I like my head to fall back into my hands, and I roll forward. Now I'm not going up to my neck, I'm just going past my shoulders, and then I roll down, not much past the bra line. I'm not trying to get into my organs, just my rib cage. And again, the hips are lifted and back. And this is not one where we want to take a fast pace. We want to feel our body sinking into that roll, and then it comes back. And this should feel like you're giving yourself a nice gentle massage. And again, don't do any less than 10. This should feel really good. Let your head be supported by your hands. And then I like to shift over to just one shoulder blade, and I roll more intensely on that one shoulder blade than the other. And again, I do many of those. One side might be tighter than the other. And then I go to the opposite side. Now the roller that I'm using is a very firm roller, and you may not want a roll this firm for the work that you do. And then I'm going to come back into the center and just very slowly lower my hips down and just let my upper body stretch back. And up. Now since this is mostly about releasing and massaging more so than strength building, we're going to go next into the foam roller being under the small of your back. Now I can easily lift my hips up to get into it. A lot of people can't, so one thing to do might be just to elevate your hips and get it right under your sacrum. So my feet are on the ground. This is unstable, so you will want to hold it. Bring one knee up and then the other. And then here, I might just adjust it a little bit so that I feel like I'm going to be able to get a stretch. And I begin with my legs up to the sky, just getting this nice relaxation here, making sure my neck isn't gripping at all. And then I'm very slowly going to scissor my legs. One leg lowers away from me. I keep this one reaching to the sky. And if you're very tight, the hip flexor might wing you outwards. I want you to try to maintain a very centered leg. Feel that hip elongating, and you're welcome to put your hand on your thigh and push down. Then bring this leg back up. Same thing with the other side, just very easy, elongating through that hip. And bring it back up. Next one, let's lower that leg and bend this knee, pulling the thigh towards you, letting this leg get a stretch, and that should feel like a really good stretch through the hip flexor. Bring it back up, and we'll switch sides. And again, I'm holding onto the roller so it doesn't roll away from me. And you can do several of both of those. And then what I like to do is just pick up the pace and pulse in a scissor, and pulse in a scissor. And you want to just take your time, go in the range that's comfortable for you. Again, it's a good idea to aim for a minimum of 10. Don't limit yourself to 10. Take your time and allow yourself to feel the stretch. And then after you've done several of those, go back into that hip flexor stretch. This time see if you can lower your foot to the ground, pull your stomach in. Take that leg up and switch sides. Same thing. Feel that stretch. See if you can get that foot to lower to the ground. If you can't, that's not a big deal. Bring the leg back up. Both legs are up to the sky. Now, range of movement is going to be different for everyone. This movement's called the helicopter. You open your legs. You slowly bring one leg forward, one leg towards you. You externally rotate both legs. One leg towards you, one leg away. And you just keep opening and shifting. Opening and shifting. Now, I know that most people don't have the same kind of range, so you could just keep it up higher and just go here, trying to get those hips to open up. And we'll just do a few more of those, getting that nice stretch. And then we'll go into our final move, which is called the bicycle. So you want to tap your toe to the ground, bring your knee in, and then extend the other leg. In, up and over. And the pace is really up to you. I wouldn't go too fast, and adjust your roller if you need to. But the goal is that you reach out as far as you can, tap the ground, reach the opposite leg out away from your head. And then we'll reverse, you go out stretch. The toe taps the ground, it reaches away from you. And I'm going really slow so you can see what's happening here. Good. And then I'm just going to fold my knees into my chest and very, very gently let the roller come away from me. And I just hug my knees into my chest. Now we're just going to do a couple more stretches using this roller. What I want you to do, and this is not for everybody because of shoulders, wrists, hands, we're going to do a quad stretch. So I start with the roll, roughly at the top of my thighs and pressed up here. My feet are off the ground and my legs are wider than hips distance apart. And I just shift my weight forward, down towards my knees and back. And I'm really tight. So for me, this hurts a lot. Some people don't have that same tightness. They may not feel it. As you go forward and back, try to feel, is there a spot that's tight, and sit with it. And just let your body breathe deeply. Slowly pass it, keep passing it, and there may feel like a lump in there somewhere, and you just keep doing those until your body feels like it releases into that stretch. You want to make sure that your back isn't arched, that you're really lifted and pulled up in here. Now, I change my foot position to heels together, toes apart, and I do several of those. In this position, it hits the quads just slightly different. And then I'll bring my toes together, heels apart, which again, will hit it slightly different. And then I go to a really wide leg, same thing. And again, these are ones where take your time. You should be taking at least 5 to 10 minutes on this. This is not something you want to plow through. It's definitely worth it. Then I do one more thing. I do a figure 4. So I get the inside of one leg and the quad on the other. Same thing, forward and back, and go in a range that's comfortable for you. You might find in the very beginning of these that this is not your exercise, it hurts too much. And if that's the case, that's fine, but please try to do it because it's worth it. When your quad muscles are tight, it's going to pull your body forward, which is going to impact your low back. The next thing we're going to do is for your iliotibial band, which goes from here around to your knee. This is incredibly uncomfortable for many, many people. So my recommendation is that your bottom leg starts here, your top leg is here, and I put my hands on the floor for support, and I slowly try to work my way down on the side of my leg. And for a lot of us, it's really uncomfortable. However, it's important to keep these loose because, again, pulling your hips forward and weight bearing into your knees too much can cause us problems down the line, and we want to try to prevent that. So in an ideal world, you're going to work your way all the way down until you get right to in the junction near the knee and work all the way back up. For a lot of you, that may not be possible. There may just be a tight spot in the middle. Another thing you can do is cross fiber stretches. Cross fiber meaning we're just going over the leg and back on it. And you want to find, again, those tight spots. And this is a very firm roller. It's not the most comfortable, so it's, again, not for everybody. White ones are usually the softest. Blue one is kind of in the middle, or a marbled blue is one that's preferable for a lot of people. And then once you've done what you can on that side, we're just going to switch to the other. Same thing, I'm just bringing this leg across. You can see where my hands are on the floor, and I'm just finding the tight spots at the top, and then I'm slowly working my way down the leg. And I like to say it's like scraping meat off of a bone, because that's kind of what it feels like when you have really tight adhesions in the muscles. So again, take your time. I know it doesn't feel good, so I'm aware. I got you on this one. And then do your cross fibers, same thing. And these are intense, but I know they're necessary, and I wouldn't make you do it if I didn't think it was worth it for you. And then our final thing that we're going to do, our final movement, is that we're just going to stand up with our roller about arm's distance away from us, and we'll just do a standing cat. So we'll arch our backs and stretch, take a breath in, and push down into the roller to slowly come back up. And again, we're just going to stretch and slowly roll back up. And now I know a lot of you plow through your roller time and try to get it done in like a couple minutes or less, but do take the time to enjoy the feel-good aspect of that self-massage, especially right now. And then I want you to hold that stretch, bend one knee, just sink into the hip. Straighten your leg, bend the other knee, sinking into your hip. And straighten your leg, take a deep breath in, press down into your roller, and then very slowly come on up and just shake it out. And that's just a nice, simple release workout that you can do utilizing your foam roller at home.